In this coronavirus pandemic, we're all being told to change our lifestyles dramatically.
Life should not feel normal for you right now.
But do you know you're social distancing from your self-isolation? What about being in quarantine? Well, here's what it all means. Social distancing is staying away from other people as much as possible.
You must stay at home.
Some places are calling it stay at home or shelter in place, but it all means the same thing. If you have to go out for supplies or a bit of fresh air, you need to keep 2 meters between yourself and others.
The governor said it's okay to go outside, so here we are, as long as we stay 6 feet apart.
Avoid touching public surfaces and wash your hands before and after.
Happy birthday, dear Mologic.
Thank you very much
Happy
indeed.
birthday to you.
You shouldn't be socializing with your friends or family. If you do, you risk spreading the virus to vulnerable people.
Can you all go home, please? It's not a holiday. It's a lockdown.
Social distancing is for every healthy person, even if they don't show signs of coronavirus.
It is a war. Well, then act like it's a war.
Self-isolation means not leaving the house at all, and maybe even avoiding people in your own house.
This is the old wall city in the city of Bergamo. It isn't empty, it looks it, but it isn't. It's full of people, but they are all self-isolating.
In the UK, if you have a continuous cough or a fever, you should be in self-isolation for 7 days from when your symptoms started.
The Prince of Wales has tested positive for coronavirus.
And if you live with anyone, they should go into self-isolation for 14 days from when your symptoms started.
The Duchess of Cornwall does not have the virus. The Prince and the Duchess are now self-isolating.
This is because their symptoms might take a few days longer to show if they've caught the virus from you. If you're in self-isolation,
I will remain in self-isolation for 14 days.
there are teams of volunteers in lots of communities who can help you get food and supplies. Quarantine has the same effect as self-isolation, but it's about managing risk. If you've travelled from a country that has a coronavirus outbreak, the government may ask you to quarantine.
The last thing that any one of us would have wanted is to have passed that virus on, if we were infected, to pass it on to somebody else.
The rules vary from country to country, so check local government advice. If you're in quarantine, you need to follow the same rules as self-isolation. No contact with other people except in an emergency. The specifics of each of these terms changes from country to country.
From midnight to night, we bunker down for 4 weeks.
As the situation changes, so will the government advice.
The time has now come for us all to do more.
So it's worth keeping up to date with what your government wants you to do. And don't forget to wash your hands.